Hey, how you doing, guys? Hope you're doing well. Welcome to another video on my 164 NASCAR custom diecast workshop. What I'm working today is, and I've already got them dipped in water, is I've got 5 2018 Matt Kenseth Wyndham Rewards cars that I am adding some detail to match some of the races that he was in towards the end of his 2018 career, which is the last time he drove a Ford, and up until this year was the last time he was in the Cup Series. So I've got these pretty much done. I've got the interior detailed, I've got the bottom detailed, I've got the JB weld completed. The car's been clamped back together. I've added the Monster logos here on the side. And now I'm just going to, I've got 4 different races that I'm going to duplicate and make. And yeah, so I'll do that right here with these decals that I've got in the water. Windshield banner, Monster windshield banner. So yeah, these are all in pretty good shape. They're not perfect. Like I've said, there's some minor details that kind of bother me with some of these cars, especially these Wyndham cars. I'll show you one, and it may be difficult to see on the camera. I think it's this one. Nope, not that one. That's this one. Nope, it's the last one. So right there on the back of the spoiler on this side, there's a little bit of blue showing through right there. And what happens is when they lay this white decal across the side, you can see how it didn't line up very well here on this back corner here. But you know, it's just a little lacking. It should be all white across here, and it's got a little blue sticking through there. But you know, all in all, I'd say it's probably like a 90. Maybe a 92 out of 100 when it comes to the way I like to grade cars. But yeah, so I'm going to work those here on this video, and you can see a couple of the other ones I'm going to start. I've got some of these Carl Edwards Save a Lot 2009. I think what was Nationwide Series cars. Yeah, Nationwide Series cars. These things that I'm going to use as donor cars. And Motorsports Authentics, not the highest quality stuff, but nonetheless a 2009 Nationwide car. And I'm going to make, start with this. So this is the 2008 Matt Kenseth Silver City Financial car, number 17, that he drove in 2008. Which is basically the same. It's the same body style as 2009. So I've got 4 of those donor cars, and then I'm going to make a 2009 again silver City Financial number 16. So he drove a number 16 in 2009, and yeah, has some extra decals for sure from Pato on that. Across, I mean, this is basically all extra right here. Even this front, this is extra here. Signature, the details on the B pillar, Goodyear, just a lot of extra stuff here for this, for whatever reason. But yeah, so I've got that in the works for the next one. I'm still working that. I've got a decal that number 60 TCA. Still haven't done that yet. But yeah, got a little bit of work to do there. But I'm going to work this right now. I will say these decals did not come from Pato. These decals were ones that I had specially made just for me, that I had sent over to a guy by the name of Mike, who works doing decals, custom decals. I mentioned him in my other, I don't think I mentioned him, but I mentioned in the comments. He works, or he manages the Speedway Decals website. and super guy, just a super guy. He's made a handful of decals for me over the years that I've asked for that Pato doesn't make, and that's been difficult for me to print on my own, including all of these. And so he graciously made these for me last year sometime. I've made a couple of these cars before. I think he has stopped making decals on custom requests. As just a word on that. So, I mean, obviously I take requests and I make cars for people. I make cars for myself. Sometimes, though, it is somewhat of a difficult thing because you have a lot of requests. Because this is not something that a lot of people do, and if you really want to get something nice and something that's really good quality, you got to go to just a small group of people, and those people really have to be willing to do it, because normally they do stuff for themselves, and they kind of like to do decals or do customs that they like to do. And so to try to get them and get me to do those customs for people is sometimes not easy, and I think he's kind of maybe worn out a little bit, wants to take a break. I think he's doing all that he had at least committed himself to do, and so now he's taking a break. So I hope in the future, he'll open back up and start taking some custom requests again. But life catches up to you, and you realize that, hey, these people have lives to live, and they have families, they have other interests that sometimes will take precedence over doing this stuff. So, but that being said, I hope that he definitely gets back to doing it, because he does some great stuff, and it's not something that a lot of people are willing to do, to be honest with you. As you probably know, if you're making cars and you run into problems where you can't find decals and you kind of need them custom made. All right, so the first one I'm going to do is I'm going to make a car off of what he drove at Phoenix last year. And what he drove there was it was just a basic Wyndham's reward card, but he had a NBC logo there. And so I've got this. I've got really two different sizes. This one's a little bit bigger, and I want to use this one because it kind of stands out a little bit more. So it went right there. And my plan is I'm just making one of these, and this is going to be for my collection. Try to get the water as much as I can out of it. Make sure it's level. So that's how that's going to look. Now this side is a little bit different because the spacing is different, because the 6 is, it's not a symmetrical number, so it's a little bit tighter. But at the end of the day, it's going to fit. And I'll show you the pictures of these cars that I have, so I'm not just flying blind. Looks like I got a little raised thing here. I might not be able to take that off. Yeah, whatever. See, there's like a little tiny spot right there. Just gonna leave it. Okay, that's it. And that's basically it. I don't think I have anything else to do with this car. Alright. Now, the next one I'm going to do is I'm going to do his Homestead car, which came with, actually, hold on, no, I'm not going to do his Homestead car with this one. I'm going to do his car that he drove with this Twitter logo on the sides. And before I do that, let's just go ahead and look at the pictures real quick. Because my plan is I'm going to do 2 of the Homestead, which was the last race that he did, that he drove in, that comes with this Twitter logo. And then I'm going to do one that he drove at Martinsville with the pink numbers, and the NBC logo, and then one where he drove, I believe, at Dover with the Twitter logos on the side. And again, that Twitter one is going to be for myself, for my collection. So this is the one that he drove at Phoenix. You can see the little NBC logo on the side. If you notice, this has kind of a white background, and my decal unfortunately doesn't have the white background, but yeah, that's just the way it's going to be. So yeah, so that's what he drove at Phoenix in 2018, the second Phoenix race. This is what he drove at Homestead in his last race, where he finished 6th. You can see the little Twitter logo, and what's kind of cool about this is it's got like a little goofy radio headset on it, black radio headset, kind of like Jack Roush has. I don't know, it's just a little weird. And I don't think this picture shows it very well, because I think this is a practice picture. But it's, you know, at Homestead they race, it's the EcoBeast 400, or used to be the Ford 400. Well, in 2018 they had this big slogan called Built Ford Proud, and Built Ford Proud was written right across this C-pillar up here. And so I've got those those decals, and I'm putting them on there with that. So that'll be cool. And then this is the Dover car, where he drove with the Twitter logo, and this little lettering says Pound NASCAR Playoffs. So that's the one I'm going to make. Everything else is pretty much the same. And then at Martinsville, of course, he's got the pink numbers for Breast Cancer Awareness Month there. So I've got that to add. And then there's the NBC logo. I don't think I have a good picture of that. Here's another picture of the car going around the track. But yeah, there's an NBC logo. You can see it right over this guy's shoulder, part of the little peacock wing there. So yeah, so that's what I'm putting together here. So this is a little big. You can see it kind of barely goes over the 6, the black part of the 6. But I'm not too concerned about that. Actually, I think I got that too high. I think it's down a little bit here. Okay, so I got these decals from Speedway Decals. So they're a different type of decal from Pato. Yeah, they're water slide, but they're much more fragile. He has a different printer. I think Pato has like some super high-tech printer that really is fabulous when it comes to decals. Mike doesn't have that type of printer, and you know it's fine. You just have a little bit limitations, and you have to be a little extra careful when you're handling these decals. And the reason that you have to go with somebody like that is because he can print white. And when you can print white decals, oh, it's huge. I mean, I've got some white paper, but at the end of the day, it's not very. It's more transparent than you like. And these, though, these aren't as transparent. I mean, anything white is going to be transparent to some extent. But here, this is, I'm just so grateful for it. So, yeah. So that's that. On that side. On that side, and I think I'm pretty symmetrical. Yeah. And I look at, okay, so my distance, I lined it up along the sides of these, and my distance between here and here is about the same. So, yeah, I kind of look for that. Yep. So that's done. So those two are done. Let them dry, and then I'll be able to start putting some coats of sealer on it. Alright, so like I said, those two are from my collection. Now I'm going to make one that I'm going to end up selling on eBay. This is, and the reason is because I already have one. I already have a number 6 Martinsville car. So let's do this 6 for the side. And these are really got to be really careful with these things. Now the 6 isn't the greatest match, but you can see how you got it. You can line it up right over the white, and yeah, see that? So it's not perfect, but when you get to the point where you're not able to buy these cars anywhere, you want a unique Kenseth car that only a handful of people in the world have, going for perfection is what I'm after, but you can settle for it and you're okay. So so that's what that 6 looks like on the side, the pink. Now let's get an NBC logo for this driver's side. This one's a little bit smaller than the one I put on the other one. And these are so fragile. I'm just going to leave it. I'm just going to leave it just like that and let it dry. Let it dry like that. So, all right, let's do the roof. Let's get rid of these. Now it's funny, I mentioned in my last video that some guys in our church, we got together on Friday to play some softball. Oh man, that was fun, but am I sore? Oh dear. I am sore. Just not using those muscles, on a regular basis. I have a job where I'm at a desk or, working from home here, and I do try to, run and lift weights a little bit here and there, but at the end of the day, when you're out playing a game, softball, and, using muscles and stretching yourself, you take a little longer to recover when you're doing that, but it was fun, It's a good hurt, if you know what I mean. It's good to get out there and do that and get some exercise. I think God made our bodies to move and to, to be active. Obviously, we have to have our downtime when we're not active, but it's good to have that uptime. Make sure you're active and all. So these little tiny 6s are cool. Didn't want to forget, doing these. And these line up pretty good with the size of the ones that are there. See, it's pretty cool. All right, so continue going around the vehicle here. Let's get this passenger side 6 on. Just a little bit of water in there. Yeah, it was funny. We were playing softball, and I was like wearing like cleats that I haven't worn in like 15 years. I found them and kind of cleaned them up, and was like, "Whoa!" Yeah, and so my feet are a little sore. You don't wear shoes that you wear shoes that you haven't worn for 15 years, and then you start running around in them. Your feet are gonna be sore. So, but it's fun. It's fun. I see a little mark on these. I think it's a chip. Just, these little tiny marks, there's just nothing you can do about it, that are already there from the manufacturer. Okay. Alright, and then I got the last little 6 here. Goes on the front. Like that. And that's that. So let that all dry. Probably let it dry overnight, and then we'll start putting some coats of sealer on it, and we'll be able to list that car. So yeah, that one turned out pretty well. Okay, the last two I'm going to make are the cars that he drove. There's a car that he drove at Homestead in his last race for Roush Racing. So on the side he has this Twitter logo. Actually, let me pull it up to see exactly where the logo is. Okay, yeah, so it's just beneath the Monster logo. So basically, put it on here, and it lines up the bottom edge of this Monster logo like that. Yeah. I think this is a little bit big compared to, just dimension-wise to what was on the car, but yeah, that's pretty cool. I think that's pretty cool. Like that. And then we'll put the Built Ford Proud. Be real careful with this. Yikes. As I can see, it's trying to fold on me. And it did. Dang it. Alright. I got damage control going on here. So it just wrapped itself around my tweezers. And what I need to do is get it off of the tweezers without destroying the decal. It's folding over a little bit. Okay, don't want you to fold. So I'm kind of unrolling it ever so carefully. Okay, so I successfully unrolled it. Alright, so lesson learned, and I should have known this. So on some of these decals where it's really, so this is a super small decal, right? And not only that, there's no backing, it's just lettering here. So what I need to do is I pick up the whole decal, lay it on the car like so, and then I just kind of slide it off from here like that. You see that? Because it's just too flimsy. When I pulled it off, there's not enough stability in the decal to hold it, and it immediately tried to wrap around the my tweezers. So yeah, and I can see how just real careful these things are. So it's going to look like that. Okay, let's do another one. Actually, I tell you what, I'm going to try this. So this is kind of, it's got the back side on it, and so I'm going to kind of flip it like this and see if this will work. I definitely don't do this normally. But sometimes when you're working with this stuff, you do what you got to do to get it on there. Ever so carefully move this around, because this is going to rip. And let's see how we got. I'm going to move it down a little bit. Okay. Get this logo on here. Line it up with the bottom of that monster logo. And that's that. Yep. So this car has got those extra decals to match what he drove at Homestead that year. So I'm going to do one more, and then that'll be it. That's basically what I wanted to show you. So I've got, 5 of these cool cars, and that basically wraps up my 2018 collection of Matt Kenseth cars. And yeah, so you saw me build 4 of these things. This will be another one of these things. And yeah, fun stuff. Pretty soon I'll start tearing these apart and dipping those and painting them silver. I got to get the orange painted on here, and we'll move this forward. But hope you guys are having a great day and enjoying these videos. And God bless you. We'll talk to you soon out here.